Hello, hello, hello. Hey, country boy. Hey, rebellious. Oh, I have a back itch. I hate when I have a back itch and I can't get to my back, I guess is what I was trying to say. Happy Tuesday. Who else's children are exhausted tonight? I think everybody's in a post-Halloween candy coma tonight. So, um, but we got a lot to talk about. Kate is going to be coming up and joining me. If you have not gone over and subscribed to Kate's channel, please do so. She is amazing. Hey, Pointer Lover. And she's really close to the watch hours she needs. Hey, Sandy. Thanks for joining. My internet is being really funky tonight, so I don't know why. But we have so much to talk about. I'm going to wait for till Kate gets up here to really dig into Delphi, but that's been my main focus here for the last couple of days. Obviously because of what has gone on, but also, hey, cool gamer, but also just because I'm trying to say it nicely. Quentin's case, I'm going to do everything I can to research his stuff, but it's a hot mess, and it's not about Quentin anymore. I don't care what it's not on either side. We've got MGL there, I guess, now, and another creator down there now, and one's on the way. And we've got the protesters blaring music into the window of the house. And then we've got Grandma Billy Joe blaring the song Let It Go, which...
Is Disney heavy with copyright striking? Maybe that's why they.
I have no idea. Which is,
but even so, Let It Go. It's so petty. Like, why would anyone let go of the
right?
Fact
that, and so I'm just like, this is a hot mess. Like, call me back when there's when Quentin actually is brought up again. Anyone who says it's about Quentin, yeah, exactly, Delphi boys, and
giving
exactly, Pointer Lover
isn't making it any better either.
Exactly, because you know what
boy.
this this just turned them into victims. And you're just making people feel bad for Billy Joe and Leilani. And Leilani allegedly is not even there because apparently they've been getting her in and out secretively somehow to go to appointments and stuff. So yeah, they're playing. It's gross. It's gross. I'm like, you know what? I don't even, the Chatham County, I know I'm probably saying it wrong, police department came out today and said no new information. But that's not uncommon. We've got to think about Delphi. Hey, Beatlemaniac. Delphi took 5 years and law enforcement was really tight-lipped for a reason. Like, it's coming. It's coming. They don't owe us answers. So I just Kate and I talk about it a little bit, what's going on. But then other than that, what am I going to cover? Am I going to cover the protesters? Like, we already know what's crazy.
As soon as the case starts getting circusy for me, I just want to be far away from it. I don't like. I know a lot of people do like the drama of it, but I just get so tired of hearing the protesters doing the same thing every day, and everyone they know they're getting attention, so they're gonna keep doing it. And
I just get mad. Because I'm PMSing like a schoolgirl and I've got zits all over, which I never used to. But two is I'm just like Leilani is not a victim, and then people defend him and I understand why they are. And then I'm just like, okay, why am I doing this right now? So then you got people recording phone calls and I'm like, no, don't worry, Sandy. You don't have to worry about that here. But long story short is what we've talked about behind the scenes. And I mean, Kate can do whatever she wants in her channel, but I think she feels similar, is just when there's updates with Quentin, we'll talk about it. And we'll update it. But there's not really any updates right now, which sucks.
Yeah, I will say I was always really big on innocent until proven guilty, which I still am.
I know, me too.
Everybody knows that, but This is one of those circumstances where it's kind of like going out the window for me because, one, I've never heard, besides OJ, I've never heard a suspect say, well, if I'm involved, I will take myself to the police station. The only other suspect I've ever heard, the only other person I've ever heard say that was OJ when he wrote the If I Did It book. Like, why would a suspect say, if I was involved, if you weren't involved? Like,
exactly.
If you weren't involved, you would be like, no friggin' way. I didn't do it. I'm not involved. Her own mother knows she did it. So, like,
yeah,
I think it's pretty obvious. They obviously, I mean, it's not confirmed, but I think it's fair to say that they have a video of her dumping him. So, I don't know. I think it's pretty clear, but it's not clear enough for them to arrest her because she could say I was dumping trash or whatever, you know. But this is one of those cases where I just think it's pretty freaking obvious that Leilani did it. And I just have I just don't care to even hear them out at all because they keep trying to blame it on everybody but themselves. And then I don't care about the protesters because they're just acting a fool and being stupid. And it's just such a circus. It's
well, I'm going to say too, like, part of why, and we won't spend much time on this, but part of why, I agree, Pointer Lover, the family of Timmy Moore, who is the one that Nathaniel Quinton Betterton, which is Quinton's uncle, that's in jail for 45 years. One of the reasons they are so upset is because of, this is kind of what Billy Joe pulled with Nathaniel. I think it's Nathaniel. Yeah. Where he didn't do anything. Everyone else was at fault and that kind of stuff. The problem is it's reopening wounds for that family. And so that's the family that came and ended up getting punched in the face by Tommy, Grandpa. So, like, people are getting hurt because they're drumming up this circus. And, it's just, so I don't, and now that I know all these other YouTubers are coming down, I just want to know what the heck, like, they must be making bank off YouTube to be able to take this time off and
just go down there. And I mean, I doubt any of them work anyway. Like, Molly's a life coach. Bullhorn Betty's a YouTuber and Dolly sells soap, so they have nothing better to do there. Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess, yeah. Hey, Alma. Yeah, Country Boy. I'm not sure it was either. I'm still on the fence about everything. But anyways, meanwhile, back to important news. And not that Quentin's not important, but we know. Delphi, it's, so if you look at the DeLorean's post, she's working on confirming this, but it was said that let me see what it was, that there's rumor right now that more arrests were just made, but she's trying to confirm that. So no one run with that. That's just something that, that's out there right now that she's working on.
Country Boy, have you heard of any arrests? Country Boy's local.
Country Boy, have you heard any other arrests in Delphi?
He was at the press conference.
Oh. So Tom Webster, well, we're waiting to hear from him. Tom Webster, I'm not sure if you guys know who he is. He's got the driest sense of humor, but I'm telling you, you haven't, Country Boy? Well, I would figure you would know locally. Holy cow. So Sandy, Lindsay explained that to me. Thank you for bringing that up. So let me talk about that really quick. Sandy's question is, were there 2 different days of death for Libby and Abby? I asked Lindsay the DeLorean, whether you like her or not, has done incredible coverage on Delphi, and she explained that to me. So they gave each family a choice of what day of death they wanted on their death certificate. One family chose the 13 and one family chose the 14. And the reason they did that is to make them I guess the families wanted them to be somewhat separate as far as like, because, you know, they're to get like, they're combined for everything, right? We know them as Abby and Libby. I guess it was to give them the old, right. Yeah, there you go. It was to give them their own date. Gotcha. I guess.
So listen to this. There's the lady, she was interviewed on Down the Hill, I believe. She lives like 2 doors down from Richard. Hold on, I have to find the picture I have because it has all the information on it. Country Boy, you're probably going to say the same thing that I'm talking about. I know you emailed me the same stuff. So it says they searched his home on October 13th. He was interviewed early in the investigation. I thought he might have been.
I just heard he was because his cell phone pinged close to the.
Yeah, and he said he was going for a walk there or something.
That's big, y'all. Like, that's big.
So listen to this. I'm wondering. I don't think right now. I don't think there's a connection with Kegan, but if there is, it could be because his pretrial hearing was coming up and maybe he decided to say something. But as of now, it sounds like he stole a tool from the neighbor. Like, got caught on the property, like stealing a tool or something of that nature. And then I heard that I'm confused now too because I've been hearing like 2 different things, but I heard that he stole a tool, that they took him in, they took his DNA because he got caught stealing or whatever, which they found a connection, and then they went and searched his house. And then I've also heard that Kegan may have said his name. But anyway, they searched his house on October 13th. It happened just before noon. It went for 12 hours. Law enforcement arrived in unmarked vehicles and clothing. Law enforcement asked Rick and his wife to exit the house. Rick stood in the driveway for several hours and also sat in the car with his wife for several hours. At some point, the neighbor said the wife left. Plenty of Ellie stood around for the first part of the day. As it was getting dark, Chief Deputy Leggett arrived with a piece of paper in hand. He handed that paper to Rick. Immediately, a tow truck came and took Rick Allen's car away. At this point, some Ellie entered the house and some entered the backyard. They started searching the shed and taking pictures, which me and Country Boy were going over. You could probably
Country Boy, you're welcome to, but I would hate for you to out yourself.
Just, don't put keep your camera off, but you could click on the link and come up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know if I believe the tool story too. I think it might have been Kegan because Kegan was just about to have his pretrial hearing on the 20th. So maybe, he decided to make a deal with them before, taking it to that point. But usually a deal is made at the pretrial hearing, but maybe he didn't even want to go to court. So they took his car, and then at some point Ellie entered the house and some entered the backyard. They started searching the shed and taking pictures. Now this is interesting because me and Country, we were just talking about what if he came there, took them back to his house in the shed or something, and then once it got dark and, less searchers were around, placed them there because they were moved and staged. And, we know this because of Ron Logan's search warrant.
Yeah, we know that, yeah.
And we know there was a sock and underwear taken. Well, it doesn't sit, it's blocked out on the search warrant, but that's supposedly
you could figure out what the underwear was like. Yeah, you could figure out what that was.
The bodies were moved and staged. And then he said they started bringing items Ellie were using a device like a metal detector and sonar around the shed and in the flower bed. They did not dig up the flower bed, but did dig up 2 tiny spots near the shed. Ellie started bringing items out from the house. Neighbors said one Ellie officer came out with what appeared to be 2 large bundles of dark cloth. Could not be sure if it was clothes, only that it was definitely cloth. Ellie also brought out a Macy's shopping bag, a shoebox, and a small stack of books. They said they were thin books, not thick like encyclopedia books. I wonder if that was like porn or something, or some like. The neighbor said they were starting to get concerned, and they placed a call to Chief Deputy Leggett to ask what was going on and all. So they called them to ask what was going on, and Chief Deputy Leggett told them to stay vigilant, especially with your wife and daughters, which made them really unsettled. So maybe at that point they didn't. There's a StreamYard link. Did you?
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I was trying to mod Beatlemaniac, and then I just lost what I was doing. I have no idea where I am. I was on both. Just don't mention your name, Country Boy, because the last thing you need to do is be out yourself in the community right now. And Pointer Lover, yes, he is. He or she, well, obviously he, boy, well, I don't know, whatever, is local.
He. Click the link, and then you'll come up to like a screen, and then you can like turn your camera off, but there'll be like a mic. If you like don't want to talk and you don't want people to hear, you can mute the mic, and then when you're ready to talk, you can put it back on.
Yeah.
But then, like,
Danielle, I did see that. The theory on that is that they were just randomly calling him Richard, but I don't believe it. I think that was...
somebody accidentally put like Richard, and then they started just calling the suspect Richard as like a joke, supposedly. All right, so then it says, the chief told him to stay vigilant, especially with your wife and daughters. That's what the chief told the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because they knew something and they wanted them to be careful about him. Then he said the day after the search, Rick went to work. The neighbor states he saw him in the store and felt like Rick was continuing on as if nothing happened. Neighbor said they lived life as normal till October 26, when Rick was detained. The neighbor said they were a normal family. They did not have visitors, no parties. They were very quiet. Said Rick would arrive home from work and would regularly sit in the driveway in a lawn chair, having a few beers and maybe smoking some cigarettes. Neighbor said they had a little bit more interaction with the wife than they did with him. And that's all I can see from that. But that was information from Barbara McDonald from down the hill and the neighbor 2 doors up.
Yeah, I've got a thing they just released like 30 minutes ago that was like just a little news thing. They speak to some of the neighbors, but that's pretty crazy. And I don't know if, Tom Webster, if you don't know who he is, I reached out to him. He has done like 2 cases, and I'm telling you, this guy is amazing. He has a 7-minute video that he has okay, now how do I put devices not connected? Oh yeah, okay, so he needs to just put on, Country Boy, if you can, connect your devices so I can put you through, like a mic or something. I reached out to him and asked him if I could use his 7-minute video. He said absolutely. So we'll watch that. He does a deep dive. Oh, Sandy, really? So you know what's one thing that is weird is that the date, we'll talk about it later, because if I go into those dates now of Evansdale and everything, I'll get everybody off. There he is. Hey.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, your pictures, your thumbnail picture's up. Do you care about that, or?
The pictures don't matter, no.
Okay, all right. Sure. I just don't want you to like suffer back home. So thank you for joining us. I'm like really appreciative having a local person welcome. Talk. Now I got to ask you the first question. Have you ever met him?
No, Richard? I've never met him.
Okay. Because I hear there's only like one or two CVS like in Delphi.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on today. Like she was talking about, the reason they searched his house is because supposedly he stole some tools from the neighbor. Neighbor called the police, and then they had got a search warrant for his house. and they went in and found stuff from the Delphi murders, supposedly, and there was a shoebox, a Macy's bag, was it like blue cloth that looked like clothing? So I'm figuring that might have been the jacket because the jacket looked blue.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Maybe it was the jacket. He does have a blue jacket because he was wearing that in the video where he's like sitting in the car and the wife walks up on him and he looks like he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be and got spooked. You know what I mean?
Which is insane to me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they were taking pictures inside the shed and everything too. So, I mean, that, because we were talking about the other night and we were saying, like, how did he get away with, like, killing 2 girls in broad daylight so close to all these people? I mean, wouldn't you hear like a scream or something? Plus, it would be hard to wrangle 2 girls at the same time, you know?
Keep talking. That leads me to this. You keep talking because I'm going to pull up. I want to ask Country Boy.
And, like, what if he got them in the car through that back private driveway on Ron Logan's property? So we know that there's access to this back private driveway that's on Ron Logan's property that takes them to the area where the bodies were found. What if, and I don't know, that would, like, when they were searching, I don't know if it's by that cemetery, right? Isn't there like a cemetery?
Where do they found what I was going to ask, because I'm trying to put it on the map here and I didn't realize how far that bridge goes.
Zoom in.
Yeah, me and my son walked the bridge tonight. It's
oh my gosh.
It's a good 15-minute walk from when you get out of your car.
Hold on, let me pull it up on mine so I can look.
Yeah.
So there's like a cemetery nearby, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it from Google Earth because I don't know if it's like under trees. But
Deer Creek, is that the one that they were found near then?
They were found just over the bridge. The old bridge, the one you see.
A quarter mile from the end of the Mono and High Bridge.
Oh.
Yep.
So, like, that's the bridge. Should be like a quarter mile upstream. So, if we can tell which way.
Well, what you do is when you go in, you go all the way down. It's about like a 15-minute walk. Okay. And they got a spot where they got a stuff for Olivia and Abby on the trail. Mm-hmm. And it says, I believe it's 502 or 501 steps, it says. And you walk,
oh my God.
And that's to the bridge. And then it's about it's a quarter mile over the bridge. So you're looking at probably 25-minute walk to get there if you went there. And that bridge is so long, and I wouldn't walk over it.
So the bridge where they found just over the water, because it looks like it goes, like the bridge goes. Okay, so I think
you share your screen and let me take my screen off because you.
All right.
Sandy, I'm wondering, that would make sense with what Country Boy is saying, that I mean, if he could have had that stuff, I would assume his shed had to have been off limits to his family, which is still so bizarre because as a wife, I would want to be like, why don't you want me to go in the
truck
shed?
in that. There's a truck right in front of the shed. A white Dodge, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't take.
Did you say a white Dodge?
Looked like a white Dodge, yes.
That they're looking for a white boxy vehicle in that Evansdale murder. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Well, I've talked to several people, and he worked at Walmart there at the time it happened, and they donated. Him and his wife used to be donated to the college there.
Thank you. So, I'm so glad I wanted to verify that was them. Thank you. Okay, sorry, I got really excited.
All right, so I'm gonna guess it's right around here. I think just because of the way that it looks. This is just my...
Oh, country boy. People want to know, well, Beatlemaniac, and okay, I want to know too, that is it really terrifying walking across that bridge? Because I got to tell you, it
Yes,
looks like
because
it.
yes, and I wouldn't do it. I took my son out there. We actually walked all the way to it tonight, and we got to the bridge, and I stepped on it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it.
It's so crazy to me that those girls. I mean, I guess if they'd been there a lot, but it just
And
looks
it's not
terrifying to me.
wide. It's not that wide. If you slip, you're going down in the water a long ways.
I'm gonna guess it might be right around here because I know Ron Logan's property. I know it was pretty close to the creek, and I know it was a quarter mile from the bridge. So here's the bridge. I can't tell if this is upstream or downstream, but if it is upstream, then this might be Ron Logan's property, which has a private driveway that takes you. He has a private driveway that connects somewhere. Hold on.
Sarah, I think the bridge is, how high would you say the bridge is?
I'm going to guess the private driveway's here, look. Through here.
Oh, 35 feet, never mind.
And then down into here.
There's another bridge you walk over before you get to it, too. You actually walk over the bridge that goes over the highway, too.
So if he was able to use this private driveway, I still can't.
They had a metal detector out there that day too.
Or were they on this side? I don't know because it could be on.
They were on the left side.
On this side?
Yeah, they was on the, when you go over the bridge, they said it was on the, because I had some other people that was walking out there and I was asking them
where the bridge ends.
It's at the bridge's end, and it's a little ways up, and it's on your left-hand side.
Hey, Emily.
So that may be on this side because it ends here.
Them a ways.
Otherwise, it goes all the way over here.
Are y'all far? Are y'all far from Indiana?
Yes. Well,
it would have to be over this side,
12
right?
hours.
Look, here's where they would have gotten dropped off, right? And then you walk. I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, when you get dropped off, you get out of your car, you look out, you see their little memorial right there. You go down this little trail a few feet, and you take a left, and you go all the way down over a bridge that's over like the main highway, and you go probably another mile after that, maybe not that.
There's
then
a bridge with the main highway.
Yep.
All right. So they weren't on the other side of this bridge. They were here. So then it's
they was way past the one that's over the highway. That's not the one they was.
Yeah, no.
Right
this is the highway one way over here.
Yeah.
And then this is the Monon High Bridge right here. So I'm guessing if they were on this side, then Ron Logan's property would be somewhere over here.
I'm going to try it one day to go over it when I ain't with my 6-year-old because he can't do it. I'm scared to do it.
You know what? Let me look up Ron Logan real quick and see what his address is, because if I can find where his house was, then I can figure it out a little easier.
One thing that's interesting.
The video.
Go ahead.
The video is him coming, like he's coming back, going towards the parking lot where you park at, I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
The video was right here.
Know that.
Because
he
look,
like the way he's walking, it looks like he's walking back, like towards.
Because look how far the bridge goes, and then it ends in like here, like it's.
And it's longer than you think it is.
Yeah, so like it had to be right here. He was here coming back this way.
Uh huh.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna look him up.
Okay, yeah, he was. You see where the red is right there?
Yeah.
That little red spot, that's the end he was walking towards right there, coming back in.
Yep.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm looking up Ronald Logan now. I got his address.
And there was probably, when we was out there this evening, there was probably 10 or 15 people out there then. I believe I seen one of the girls' mama. I can't remember which one of the girls it is, the one that was on TV the other day with the darkest black hair.
Libby's, I think, but don't quote me on that.
She was getting out of her car going in when we were coming out.
That must be so surreal. I can't even imagine that. Like,
did you take pictures?
I took pictures of everything. Yeah, I got a bunch of pictures today. A bunch.
You should have a channel, Country Boy. You really should.
Well, this is my first time ever doing this, so.
One interesting thing about this was the more I keep reading about Rick is that he was a good guy, but everyone and quiet. But then people are coming back saying he was quiet, but then he almost had like this side to him where, like, when his wife was beating him at pool, and then he said he was gonna like beat her to the pulp or something. Like, he was super nice, but had this rage inside that, yeah.
I got it.
Well, there was a domestic violence called in 2015 to Ricky Allen's house. There was nobody charged or went to jail. He got so drunk, his wife had to take him to the hospital.
Here's his house. Look. So
that confirms it.
Yep. So they were on this side, and they were found over by his property, which is over here, which has a private. This is where the cops were pulling in. Look, it's the cemetery. Remember the cemetery? You can see the gravestones. Mm-hmm. So the cops were pulling in here, which is this private driveway. So if they were searching, he could have easily pulled into this private driveway. But that makes me wonder if Ron Logan, I still think there's a chance Ron Logan was involved in some way, shape, or form.
I do too. That picture on the bridge guy looks more like Ron Logan than it does dude. I believe that.
Did you see that picture, Parker, that I showed of Ron? Oh my gosh, wait till you see this.
Lindsay once had a good point. She wondered if maybe Ron stumbled on the bodies and flipped out because of his record, and he was the one that moved something.
But, I think Bridge Guy looks like Ron Logan. I don't.
Oh, really?
But I don't know if Bridge Guy was definite. Like, I can't say Bridge Guy was definitely the guy who killed them, but I think Bridge Guy looks like Ron Logan. I'll show you.
Did y'all see the video the other day? One of the news guys that was right after the press conference asked what's his name, that if do you think Ricky Allen's bridge guy, and he said the judge signed the warrant. He couldn't say for sure, but he just said he pretty much said it. The judge signed the warrant for 2 counts of murder.
Whoa.
Look at that.
He said, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Look at this. Look at the divots in his hat. Here and here. And then look here.
Yeah.
Do you see it? He's got divots in his hat right there. And there's 2 divots here. It definitely looks like the same exact color. Look at the nose.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like his nose and his mustache. And he has a blue jacket that doesn't have a hood.
I do think there's more than one person involved, as far as, like, I don't know how or what, but I do believe 100% that I don't think it was random. I just don't. I don't think this is only time killing either.
I think
I forgot. There. I was going to mention that he interjected himself into the investigation. From what we was told, that he went up to the police station and told him he was on the trail at the time of the murders, and he didn't see anything. He put himself there.
This is wild. That is insane. Wow.
And they stayed in their vehicles for 12 hours while they searched her house. She has like a blue-looking minivan type thing.
They took his vehicle in. Point of Lover. They were on his property. Like, their bodies were literally on his property. But
yes,
then again,
they was on his.
Why would he be okay with them dumping them on his property? You know what I mean? Like, if he was involved, why would he ever be okay with putting them on his property?
Yeah, and they'd be like, he's the first person they're going to look at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the only thing that gets me is, like, if he was involved. Like, maybe he wasn't involved. Maybe he was just walking on the damn bridge. But he looks so much like Ron Logan. It's hard to say. Like, even the nose, everything. He looks just like Ron Logan.
I believe if Keegan was going to be charged, he'd already been charged.
I kind of think that too, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think Keegan lured them there, but I don't think. But I don't know. Keegan was worried about his DNA being like he searched like DNA being on bodies, which is really weird too. And look, I feel like Ron has like the build of like I gotta
bridge guy.
Yeah, like if you see him in jeans, like if you see him standing up, he has the same build too. I don't feel like Richard Allen has the same build. Like he might like he lives so close. Here we go. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Although Richard's changed his appearance, I feel like so many times.
Yeah, but Richard's 5'4".
Yeah, so I asked somebody about that, or no, I didn't ask. Somebody said that they're 5'7" and he's probably an inch or two shorter. So yeah, that'd be about that. Because he stands out because he's short.
5'4".
Right, yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're saying, like people have said that.
I don't feel like Bridge Guy looks like he's 5'4".
Yeah.
Like I feel like
that looks like a big burly ass dude.
Yeah, I feel like the bridge guy and the audio of the guy saying down the hill are two different people. Like but I feel like he even had like he looks just like Bridge Guy to me.
Let me watch that. Let's watch that, Tom, because he does some comparisons. So hold on a second.
Yeah, he does down the hill.
I think the voice definitely sounds like Richard Allen, but I feel
the only thing he wanted me to correct, Tom did when I talked to him, who, if you have not subscribed to him, please do, because he is amazing. But at this time, he thought there was a $20 million bail, and there wasn't. And so he put that in his video when he made this a couple days ago. And of course, everybody freaked out about that one thing. So anyways, because, everybody's got to pick apart everything. So there is no $20 million bail.
I think there's going to have
No, there never was. They was posting that stuff in the group too and on Facebook.
Close connection with the murders.
I think a porn ring's going to come out, and it's going to be a bunch of different people involved in this porn ring with Keegan Kline, and I think Keegan lured them there, and somebody else kidnapped them, and they took pictures and things like that for their sick.
I do too.
But I haven't heard any else thing about sexual assault though. I haven't heard that at all.
Yeah, but it's not really so much that the sexual assault. I think it's more of like they sold pictures of, like, stored and sold pictures. They didn't really need to assault them. They could have just took.
But they got DNA on him. They have to.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Because I noticed in the press conference they thanked the lab and lab workers and everything. All right, I'm gonna play.
I was told that they like extradited his.
A lot of this is just rumor, so.
Oh, sorry.
Don't quote me. I made a PowerPoint slide. So his name is Richard Matthew Allen. He goes by Ricky. His date of birth is September 9th, 1972. So he's 50 years old now. So he was in his mid-40s at the time of the murders. The initial police sketches said they were looking for somebody 18 to 40 years old. I looked at online records, and he bought his current house in October 2006. There is online speculation that he may have previously lived in Peru, which is where Tony and Keegan Kline live. And apparently at one point he had a P.O. box in Peru. Currently he works at the Delphi CVS drugstore, and some locals are saying that he rang them up, which is kind of eerie to think that Libby and Abby's family members go to that CVS and they've been rung up by the guy who killed their daughters and their granddaughters and their sister. Some people online said they found his pharmaceutical tech certification, but it wasn't dated until after 2018, which was after the murders. So it's unclear how long he worked at that CVS drugstore. It was mentioned online that he has a weapons permit. There's been speculation in the past that the killer used a gun to intimidate the girls to go down the hill. His bond is set at $20 million. So his ass ain't going anywhere.
No bond.
One online document said that he might be using an alias, Craig Ross Renfro. And I know that Craig there with an H at the end seems odd to me. I've never seen it spelled that way, but apparently some people are saying that is the name of a real guy in Indiana. But Ricky may have stolen his identity or name online in some form. I'm going to do a face, body, voice, and clothing comparison to the guy in the bridge. And it makes you wonder, like, how did his wife, kids, and neighbors not recognize his voice? To me, when I matched it up to the killer's, it's not totally obvious that it is his. But you would think his family would recognize his clothes. Here is a map of Delphi, and at the bottom here is his house. On the right here, where it says 25, that is Hoosier Heartland Highway. Over here is the Monon High Bridge where the girls crossed and they were killed up over here. On the left here is CVS drugstore where Ricky Allen worked. I'm going to scroll through a few photos I found on his wife's Facebook. As you can see, his eyes are kind of light, and one of the witnesses apparently said that the killer did not have blue eyes. I never came across a picture really where this guy is smiling or showing his teeth, so at least hopefully he's been miserable. This is just a screen capture I took of a video that his wife posted on Facebook. In pretty much every picture, he does have a mustache and goatee, which lines up with what witnesses said on the trails, and you can kind of make out in the video. He seemed to always keep his hair very short. There was a lot of speculation looking at the video of the bridge guy if he had reddish hair or if he had bangs. I'm not 100% certain that this is him, but I think it is. Somebody said his wife posted this in December 2021. A local bar maybe was closing and people were posting comments. But if you look in the background, you can see that the younger guy sketch is at the same location where the killer apparently was. On the right here, I pasted the younger guy sketch just to confirm that it did match up to what is on this wall. It looks like he gained some weight since the murders. And some people may say that this coloring is reddish, but I don't know. This is from November 2016, 2.5 months before the murders, and you can see that he does not have any facial hair. Looking at this, I thought, wait, is this the right guy? But apparently online, Libby's aunt confirmed that this is him. If it's not the right guy, oops, I'll delete this. This is a screen capture of his wife kind of sneaking up on him as he sat in a car in a parking lot, also in late 2016. And it seems like he is wearing a blue jacket. It's impossible to tell if it's the same blue jacket that the killer was wearing, but that was just something I noticed. Here is a full body shot of him standing up in late 2016. Some people online said his booking information said he's 5'4". If you're familiar with the case, you remember that one of the teenage girls who said she was a witness to him said that she is 5'6", and that when he walked by her, he looked to be around her height, possibly an inch taller.
I really don't think
I found this photo of him playing pool, and obviously what stood out is this beanie from before the murders, which has the darkish green color that kind of matched up to what the killer was wearing. But I don't think this style really matches up to what the killer was wearing. I made this comparison with the young and the old sketches. If I was his wife, I would say that does not look like my husband, and that does not look like him either, obviously. So you can't really fault her for not turning him in. I made this body comparison of the guy in the bridge with Ricky Allen on the left. On the right here is a picture his wife posted on one of their trips. You seem to ignore her a lot, to be honest. I'll ignore him. So I resized each one of these to match up his feet and his head to the bridge guy. Honestly, I can't say that this reveals anything. So then why are you showing it? I tried to make this comparison of his face compared to the bridge guy. Obviously, looking at the video, we have this one face on the left, which looks pretty crazy with like a big Jean Shalit mustache. Over here, it looks like a younger guy to me. Can I say that any of these really match up to this guy or this guy? No, I can't. Like I said before, here is this greenish hat that kind of matches up with this, but I don't think it's a perfect
The
match.
left looks like a hood and the right looks like a hat.
A video of them on a gondola or whatever this thing's called. And Ricky Allen talks a little bit, so I tried to increase the volume on his voice and compare it to the killer.
Down, we're going down. Shut up.
Yeah, he's going down.
Guys. Downhill.
Cable snap. There's the wheelchair coming up.
Guys.
Cable snap. There's the wheelchair coming up.
Downhill. Guys. Downhill.
If I'm being honest, it's not like a total match where I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely the guy. But obviously, like I've said before, if someone's trying to intimidate two teenage girls, the tone of his voice is going to be a lot different than if he's trying to get his wife to stop talking. And for people who did not see my first Delphi video where I did an audio analysis, in between Guys and Down the Hill, I feel like there's a young girl's voice. And the word I hear is an agitated person saying Libby. So I guess maybe Abby at one point may have said Libby. So police have really not released any concrete details about this guy, why he was charged, and what he was charged with. They scheduled a press conference for this Monday at 10 a.m. I will be doing a live chat Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, just to recap whatever is said at the press conference. So if you want to join and say what you thought about the comparisons I made and what you think about this guy, and is he the guy on the bridge? Are the clients somehow involved? Feel free to join Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Let me turn
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software.
Now we're going to have to listen eventually here to Down the Hill. And yeah, so he's got really great stuff. I don't know. So one question I wanted to ask about the press conference is, even Jennifer Koffendorfer said, why do you think they had a press conference? Because they easily could have, they said nothing, so they easily could have done a press release. Do you think a press conference was some form of a motive, like they have a motive behind doing it?
No, I think they had to do it. They're under so much pressure because of this case. There's been so many suspects, so many person of interest. I mean, yeah. And if they get this wrong, it's going to hit the fan.
Here's a Fox 59 update. They filed a records request to get probable cause unsealed to learn. So the probable cause is sealed, which is weird because they said in all their
that
years
never happens.
That never happens. So they said they filed a request to get it unsealed. She said, in my 29 years of journalism, I can't remember a case where the probable cause was sealed. We have access to probable causes daily. We will let you know how the judge rules. What we know about Richard Allen, his arrest, 50-year-old Richard Allen was arrested and taken into custody at the Indiana State Police Post in West Lafayette on Wednesday, October 26th. He was formally charged with 2 counts of murder 2 days later on October 28th. Carroll County Circuit Court Judge Benjamin Diner was the presiding judge in the arraignment and ordered the probable cause affidavit sealed. Sources with first-hand knowledge tell Fox 59 Allen came forward as a witness in the earlier stages of the investigation. Libby German's grandmother told me Allen made copies of photos of Libby for her funeral. He had different jobs at the local CVS, including a pharmacy tech. According to his marriage license, he's been married to his wife since he was 19, which makes them married for 31 years. Allen moved to Delphi. I keep saying Delphi.
Delphi.
Delphi from Mexico, Indiana in December of 2006. That's when he bought the home he has lived in since. The home is not far from where the bodies of Abby and Libby were found. Russ McQuaid confirmed a search of Allen's home 2 weeks ago reportedly yielded evidence that led to his arrest, but he was also told Allen's name only resurfaced this summer about the time prosecutors in Miami County were in talks with Kegan Kline about a possible plea agreement. So they think Kegan Kline, I mean, it sounds like to them, they're thinking Kegan Kline may have talked.
It would make sense.
Maybe that's why they sealed the probable cause affidavit, because if there is a porn ring and there's a lot of people involved in this porn ring, they're not going to want anyone to find out that Kegan.
Well,
yes,
yeah,
because
this was
he's going to get a sweet deal.
Yep, this was just released. It said one of the iPhones last used in May 2015 of Keegan or whatever his name is contained sexual images of girls around the age 14. The geolocation on the images came back to Indiana, including Bunker Hill, Galveston, Indianapolis, Kokomo, Monterey, and Royal Center. And then it said another Galaxy phone recovered was factory reset on February 23rd, 2017, 9 days after
Kegan
Delphi.
Found a phone in a car when he was in Vegas, and then he reset it. and used it. Like, you know, if you read his interrogation, it's crazy. He was literally, all right, so he was on Kick Messenger. All right, so he was on every social media thing you could ever imagine under different aliases. Like one alias, he was this little 12-year-old girl, Emily, who would reach out to other girls and be like, hey, you know, because he said girls would feel more comfortable sending other girls naked pictures than sending like a guy. And he would say things like, my dad, so it'd be like Emily pretending her dad was saying, like, my dad wants to know if he like brought you in the bathroom, would you get on your knees and do this? Like asking 12-year-old girls this kind of he had pictures of 7-year-olds being essayed. He had and then there was other his clients who would message him under girl names as well, and they would message him on Kick Messenger and be like, do you have any between the ages of like 7 and 10? And he would be like, oh yeah, of course, here's a hot one, and like send them over. But I don't know if he was getting money for them or not, but it sounded like to me like he was like, him and a couple other guys were sharing photos and selling them and things like that. And then he posed as Anthony Schatz and started talking to this girl, and they had a sleepover, like all the girls, and that's where Libby started talking to Anthony Schatz because she met Anthony Schatz through this girl. And then Libby fell in love with Anthony Schatz because she thought he was, you know, some hot Justin Bieber looking rich kid. Like that's what the pictures look like.
Yeah.
And then he would say things that were like, oh, it just takes so long for my Ferrari to warm up and stuff like that. Like he would make like talk like he was this rich guy with a Ferrari, and he was actually sending Libby money. And she like was totally enamored by this guy, thinking that, you know, it was him. And then so after everything happened, the girl who was at the sleepover, who introduced Libby to him, that he was also talking to, messaged him and said like, oh my gosh, do you know what happened to Libby? And he was like, oh my God, what happened? And then she told him, and he was like, oh, I was supposed to meet her and she never showed up. Like on the day that she was murdered, he said he was supposed to meet her and she never showed up.
And he Googled a gas station, they said, so.
Yeah. And then he was also Googling.
I'm wondering if they gave him immunity.
That might be why it's sealed, honestly. I mean, people would be pissed. Well, one.
That's why, because if they come out and said he got immunity and he was a part of it.
Yeah, so imagine if he rats out this big porn ring, right? There's probably people they don't know about that's in the porn ring. And if they don't arrest them, they're going to try and probably hurt Kagan for ratting them out, because this is they said this is the biggest porn ring they have ever investigated in the history of Indiana. Like he had drop boxes and 3 different phones and snap. I mean, he was.
My question is, did he have pictures of Libby and Abby on his phone?
I don't know if, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Like you would be surprised from reading his interrogation how many young girls were open to sending him naked photos. Like they talked about them, like young girls, 13 years old. I mean, even this one time he asked this 13-year-old girl as Emily, would you come on Skype and watch my dad like touch himself? And the girl said yes. And she called up on Skype and he was like, hurry, like I can't wait, he's not gonna wait forever. And the girl literally called up on Skype and did it. She was like 12, 13 years old.
Hey, Melissa.
So they said it was the biggest porn ring they've ever investigated in the state of Indiana. Like it's huge. And he was on all kinds of devices, and he was so dedicated to this. He was waking up, like soon as he woke up, log into all his accounts, start talking to girls. I mean, all day, all night. I mean, like he was obsessed.
Country boy, when this was all going on, wasn't there like a a high up political figure within Delphi or somewhere in Indiana who was found to be like in a pedo ring or something that was removed. I'll have to find the name and ask you about it because it's.
I have to look that up. I can't remember. But there's been so many suspects and all kind. Man, this has been the craziest case I've ever been a part of, like mess with. I mean, this is something else. Do you remember the guy they thought before Keegan Klein, the one that got arrested for having the girl chained up in his
James Chadwell or Brian whatever. Yeah, that guy. I was certain. You remember that, Nace? I was certain he was it. I thought for sure.
Yeah, and oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying because I remember saying that today.
And I think that there is multiple people involved in this. I think it has to do with Klein's porn ring. I think he ratted out probably a bunch of people, and they are
He's the ringleader.
Yeah, I think they were all doing it, and I think they were all sharing it. I mean, he had like a like when I tell you like a treasure trove of like Dropbox photos, like specified between ages, like 3 to 7, 7 to 10. I mean, it was very intricate, and it makes me wonder if he was part of this too, and that maybe they took it a step further and kidnapped them for photos. You know what I mean?
See, I don't think Keegan was actually there.
I think Keegan may have lured them for whoever was going to do it. Like he was.
But I do think they was only expecting the one girl, and her friend came with her.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think too. It was supposed to be, because I don't know. I mean, Libby, she was.
How does one guy handle two girls?
I think he definitely had a gun.
Yeah, but I think if he was like, wouldn't you think one? I know, unless they didn't want to leave each other, but wouldn't you think at least one would be able to run and go get help, unless he kidnapped them and like made them get in a car?
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled a gun on them.
Because I mean, there were so many people on the trail that day. The kids were off from school. How would you get away with literally killing someone in broad daylight in the woods without hearing?
And when I was out there today, I passed several people walking. I said every few minutes, and I'm like, "There's no way he killed them girls right there and then staged it, moved them, staged it. He didn't have time. You wouldn't have had time. Somebody would have walked up and seen something."
Yeah, my 12-year-old wanted to go trick-or-treating, her and one friend by herself, and she was like, "But I'm with my one friend," and I was like, "Yeah, no." Like, nope.
Scary. It was crazy to me too, like the Evansville murders. They said that those girls were 1.5 miles away from home on their bikes. I would kill my kid if he was 8 years old. They were 8 and 10. My 8, he's 7 now, but if he was riding his bike 1.5 miles away from my house, I would flip. Like, I wasn't even allowed to go off the street. And when I remember one time I took we went down to this, I was probably like 11, 12. Me and my cousin followed this like stream, which was down the street from his house, all the way back in these trails. And it got dark and we had to walk all the way home. And it was like probably like a 1/2 mile walk. And I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God, they know we're here. I'm going to be in so much trouble. Like, I didn't realize how far away we actually were because we couldn't go back the way of the woods, which would have been a shortcut because it was too dark. So we had to go all the way to the road and take it all the way back. And I was so scared. But I can't imagine my kid riding 1.5 miles away from my house. I would have lost it.
Yeah, if you're here and you don't know what case she's talking about, the Evansdale murders was an 8 and 10-year-old girl, basically very similar to Abby's and Libby's case, except we don't know exactly. We don't know as much about their case.
Did y'all know that Ricky Allen came from a mental health facility when he got hired on at CVS. He was an alcoholic, and he got put into a facility before he got hired on at CVS.
I heard that he went.
Yeah.
It was shortly after the murders.
Yeah, and then because he got hired at CVS about a year after the murder.
Well, he got hired at CVS as a farm tech a year after the murder, but he checked them out for the pictures.
Yeah, he was the shift supervisor.
Yes. So what's interesting about Evansdale, and it may be nothing, who knows, but it is I mean, I'm sure it's a coincidence, but the Evansdale murders happened on 7/13/2012, and
Yes.
Delphi happened on 2/13/2017. It's all the same numbers, just mixed up, which is probably nothing, but still a little bit bizarre. Like,
but he definitely drove to the place. He definitely drove to the bridge. He didn't walk. There's no way he could have walked. He drove.
you think so? Yeah, I was wondering that.
Because you go down his road, you know them circle, it's a dead end, but it's circle, you just circle back around and go back out. You have to do that, and he would have had to go through neighbors' yards and all kinds of stuff to go through the woods and get out there. And it would probably took him probably an hour to get there through the woods.
Do you guys remember why can't I click on that? Do you guys remember the address for what's his name?
1967. Whitman, I believe it's called.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna
look on that picture I sent you. It's got a picture on the mailbox, I believe.
I want to see if there's like a trail that connects this somehow to his house, because I know it's not far. So I'm looking on Google Earth.
They took pictures of inside of that red shed, and the shed kind of sits off in the back. It's not like right in the backyard. It's kind of off in the back, a little bit farther, just in the back. It ain't in the back, just in the backyard. It's a little ways off.
Yeah.
So pointer lever.
Pretty. Wait.
Well, you're looking for that
backyard. It is pretty far off. Sorry.
Hey, can you share that? Yeah. No, pointer lover. He so interestingly enough, in 2012, he was transferred to a different Walmart from the Walmart he worked at because people were complaining about him making some inappropriate advances towards ladies, and so he was transferred to where it was 3 hours or under to where these girls were killed in the same year that they were killed. So
yeah, and he was what kind of psychopath can do this and stay in the same town, a small town at that, where everybody knows everybody? There ain't no way. I would be paranoid as hell.
That's what I mean. That's why people are like, well, people kill all the time. Yeah, but they don't live in the same town, and the CVS he worked at has the picture of Bridge Guy, it's everywhere, but on the front
CVS didn't have it. He took it down right after they posted it when he started working there.
Really?
Is this a shed right
yeah, because I walked in there right after his arrest, after they found out about it. He wasn't in there, and I was told by an employee that was missing. They didn't know who took it down, but that was taken down a long time ago.
You think that's
Hey, Salem.
The shed right there, or that one?
Hold on.
Or this one? That's far back if that's it.
Point at his house. Point. Okay, are you at his house right now?
This is his house right here.
True, Sarah.
Okay.
So
it's probably this one, it's right there. You see where them two lines are? It looks like people drove on it right there.
Yeah.
It's in that area right there.
So this one, you think? Or you think?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right over in here. Yeah, that's it right there.
Huh. Wow. Look how far back that is. I could see.
That's what I'm saying. He could have took the girls out there.
The shed looks bigger than that, though. I wonder if this is it.
It's a good size. It's a good size shed.
I wonder because look, there's a fence here. I wonder if this is considered his property. I don't know, because it's too close to this house. I guess not. It's probably that one or that one.
But that's around about where it's at. Look how far. I mean, he could have took them girls in that shed, did whatever he did, and killed them, and got them in. That why would they take his vehicle for?
Yeah.
I'm looking to see if we can see pictures anywhere.
Look, if you
and one of the girls was
there's a
half
picture of
naked. I
his
wonder if the
house.
police found whatever article of clothing that she was wearing that day in his house when they searched it.
You sent me a picture of the house, right? Hold on. Let me pull up.
Yeah, I sent you a picture of it with the shed in the back.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll pull it up real quick.
Okay. My mouth just hangs open with this case every day because.
So.
Man, we've been getting our hopes up for almost 6 years. I'm telling you, every time we're breaking a case, we think they're going to solve it. Nothing happens. Then they sneak one in on us and they get him.
So the fire pit, he might have. So he probably put the fire pit over.
That's a pretty big damn shed.
They said they really didn't dig. They run a metal detector over where the fireplace is, fire pit or whatever. Because there wasn't no holes in that backyard. I walked around there.
Yeah, I didn't see any from what they showed it around the fire pit.
I think he moved the shed a little bit over more, like over here. Like I think
his shed is kind of catty cornered. Then right behind the shed, remember you can see his white truck.
Yeah, it looks like it's right here, like this way now.
Yeah.
Does it show the white truck in that picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the white truck is in the picture.
Right here.
Zoom in on it.
That's as close as I can get.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way they're not going to look at this guy for Evansdale. There's no way. Not when an eyewitness saw a boxy white vehicle at the crime scene.
They said they're not going to
yeah, reports are they are looking into it. They are an investigation, investigating him over there.
I think before they said they couldn't make a link because they didn't have the guy. Like they didn't,
now they
wasn't
do.
even. Now I think they're going to find a whole bunch of things.
Well, it's kind of strange. How does he get his car back there though? Because look how.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is there a road right behind his house? Like behind the shed?
Because look, maybe drive across here, or because it looks like he would just drive right in on here.
Well, if you go to the right side, look at the right side of his house. It's wide open, and that's how I walked around there. You can see everything there. He might be doing it like that.
Just pulling in here and then going that way.
Yeah, it could be, or that truck might have been he might have put it back there and hadn't moved it in a long time either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just weird. There's no road that goes there or anything.
I don't understand how the wife didn't know what was in the shed. Why his shed was see, that's what tells me that people saying he has a little bit of they said they could see him saying to the girls down the hill that he had this edge to him, almost like Napoleon type syndrome, and to just tell her, don't you ever look in that shed. I just know me personally, I'd be like, what's in the shed? Just
I'll be right back,
weird.
guys. I'm gonna run the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
So what do you think, Country Boy? Do you think she knew anything, or do you think he was just living a double life?
I mean, if I'm married to somebody and they did that and I seen that on TV, you got to at least, if you don't recognize the person, you got to recognize the clothes.
Yeah. I'm wondering if she was just straight up in denial. You don't want to think that about anybody.
You don't want to believe it. Yeah, I can see that. You don't want to believe anybody because you've been with the guy 30, at the time, 25 years or whatever. But if I've been with somebody that long, I'm going to know I'm inside and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also think she might have, obviously we know at least one occasion there was domestic violence, like a domestic
2015.
violence call. Yeah. Who knows? She might have been terrified of him too.
But they didn't, there was no charges or nothing like that. He got so drunk and had to go to the hospital. And that makes me wonder, did he get drunk and go out there mad at his wife or something and did that to them girls?
Highly possible. Nace, I know. I think he is definitely a serial. There's no way he could. Well, maybe there is. I just don't think he's a one type. Hey, Allie.
Yeah, like somebody said, you just don't wake up in your 40s and kill somebody.
100%. I agree. Yeah, exactly. What's the like feeling around town right now? Just relief or?
Yeah, it's more relief. See, what makes me believe that there ain't nothing going on, and I heard somebody said the guy, what's his name, the one that's been the spokesman, the guy, I can't ever think of his name.
Carter,
but
Doug Carter.
Yeah, Carter. I said, hope everybody can sleep with peace at nighttime. Maybe they can feel better about leaving their door unlocked and letting their kids go outside and all this. So that's what I'm wondering is they're just trying to get more evidence on him, or is there somebody else out there?
Yeah, I kind of tend to go your direction. I think maybe they have their guys, and if Kean is tied to it at some point, they already know they have him. But like as far as the guy,
they got the main guy.
Yeah, there's no way without absolute solid concrete evidence that they would have made that arrest.
See, I was told that they got whatever evidence they did out of the house, and they had it tested like how they do it. That instead of having to wait for it, they had it rushed,
like expedited.
Yeah, and that's when they did it. But they didn't go to that house looking anything about the Delphi murders. They went to the house over some stolen tools.
Oh my gosh!
I think they went.
And supposedly, while this was going on, while they were searching the house, one of the neighbors called one of the victims' families and let them know that they were searching somebody's house, and they had a feeling it was about the Delphi murders.
Wow. I feel terrible for his daughter.
One neighbor had binoculars on and was just watching the whole thing.
Wow. I unfortunately I don't feel like we're going to get much information right now. I just really don't. Not until they have.
Isn't it against the law to hold that stuff in the public? There's got to be.
Well, somebody explained it to me. It said that Coffindoffer or whatever explained it. It's not if
on News Nation. You watch News Nation?
No, this I just read on Twitter.
It's against the law to like an extent, but like if
it's jeopardizing a case and there's proof that it will and it's big enough, then it's not. That's what they said.
But I've seen bigger cases than this, and they don't hold it back.
I think there's more. I think it has to do with Kagan, and I think there's more cases intertwined.
Yeah, and they don't want the family to know that. I wonder if the family knows more than we do.
I think they're planning on making more arrests and things like that. And if it gets out I think it'll be pretty obvious to people that if it has to do with Kagan that he, ratted them out. But I feel like they are going to try and keep it tight-lipped.
Maybe it's just Kagan and him.
Could be.
That's what I've heard, Nasa. It's almost unheard of to withhold the PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, every news station I hear talking about it says the same thing. I just listened earlier. I listened to Good Morning America. They had a thing on it, and they had a lawyer or somebody on there said that's unheard of.
Oh, I can't even imagine how twisted. I just can't even imagine how twisted everything is. It's just crazy.
Because do y'all think the family knows more than we do?
I think maybe not a ton, but I think they definitely know more.
I know they know how the girls were killed. I guarantee they do.
So,
for sure.
Have you guys ever seen Ron Logan's arrest warrant? They give a lot of information in that.
Oh yeah.
Like
I read that when that first came out.
Like about the actual murders. Like that's probably the most information we'll ever get from this. If they can get what's it called, search warrant, then we might even know a little more. But it says you are authorized in the order in the name of the state of Indiana within it. This is why I think it has to something greater than just tools. I think it has to do with Kagan, and this will explain why also. With necessary proper assistance to enter Ron Logan's entire property located at blank, 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 Delphi, Carroll County, Indiana, described as a white 2-story single-family dwelling, including his detached garage, outbuildings, and a white Ford F-250. Oh, he has a white truck, too. For evidence related to the murders of Liberty German and Abigail Williams, and diligently searched for the following items. Any and all items pertaining to a murder, including clothing, forensic evidence, blood, seen and unseen, hair, bodily fluids, seen and unseen, fibers, weapons including guns and cutting instruments, electronic devices used to produce cellular signals detected by law enforcement in the area of crime scene, and animal hair samples. Like, why would they specify animal hair samples? Computers, computer equipment, digital storage devices, tapes, cassettes, cartridges, streaming tape, commercial software and hardware, computer disks, flash drives, disk drives, monitors, computer printers, modems, tape drives, disk application programs, data disks, system disks, operating systems, magnetic media floppy disks, computer software, hardware, and software operating manuals, tape systems, and hard drive and other computer-related operation, digital cameras, scanners, in addition to computer photographs, graphic interchange formats, and or photographs, undeveloped photographic film, slides, and other visual depictions of such graphic interchange format equipment. The data stored within these materials, which has been used or may be used to store evidence of a crime, research ways to conceal a crime, or it ends there. I don't know. And then here's the second one. Nicole Robertson swears or affirms that she believes and has good cause to believe evidence of a homicide is located in the residence of Ronald Logan, located at and his address, situated in the county of Carroll in said state, which described as a white 2-story single-family dwelling, blah, blah, blah. I'm a special agent with the FBI and have been employed as such for 12 years. Prior to her employment as an FBI agent, Nicole Robertson was employed at a Sauk Village, Illinois police officer, approximately 6 years. Nicole Robertson is assigned to Merrillville resident agencies and participates in the investigation of violent crimes. On February 13th, 2017, at approximately 1 p.m., juvenile victims hereafter referred to as Liberty German and Abigail Williams were taken to the Monon High Bridge Trail located in Delphi, Indiana. Liberty German and Abigail Williams were walking the trail in the area of County Road 300 North and 575 West near latitude 4035 to 21.4, longitude 8638, 23.3, and approximately 2:13 p.m., which was the time of the last contact with Liberty German and Abigail Williams by cellular device. The victims were to be picked up by a family member at 3 p.m., and the victims never met with the family member. At approximately 5:30 was the last successful ping of the cellular phone by AT&T.
What time was the last ping?
5:30.
Well, that's 3 hours after they're missing.
Yeah. Victims Liberty German and Abigail Williams were located deceased on February 14th, 2017 at approximately 12:17 p.m. at the above listed latitude and longitude, having been the victims of murder in accordance with Indiana Code 354211.
And you know, if he shot him, somebody would have heard it for real if he would have shot him.
Yeah, no, I think it was, there's rumors that it was a serrated hunting knife, like a big serrated hunting knife. A suspect has been developed of a white male wearing a blue jacket with a heavy physical build, wearing a cap and blue jeans. The development of the suspect was made by a 43-second video, which is much longer than we saw. That was only like a half a second. She had a 43-second video of it taken on Liberty German's phone, where the suspect follows the victims as they are walking on the Monon High Bridge Trail. Near the end of the video, so I guess Bridge Guy is the same guy, because it says near the end of the video, the suspect speaks to the victims, saying, "Down the hill." It sounds as though he is directing the victims to leave the trail they were on and enter the wooded area below. No person has come forward and identified as himself as the person who met the victims and made the statement in Liberty German's video. Therefore, it is believed that the person in Liberty German's video participated in the killings. Images of the suspect have been broadcast on the news media since February 15, 2017 as a person of interest. Liberty German and Abigail Williams are presumed to have made contact with the unknown male at approximately 2:13 p.m. based upon the analysis of Liberty German's cell phone, which recorded the video.
But they still haven't released the full video.
Yeah, no.
I don't think they ever will.
No, I don't think so either. But what's strange is where, like, her phone pinged 3 hours later. Where? They don't say. Like, I want to know where.
Somebody said it was at least like 15. I can't remember, like 15 yards away. It was far enough that, like, he didn't, because it was it wasn't, something happened where it wasn't even like touched. Like he just missed it completely.
So maybe she dropped it out of her pocket.
Yeah, I think she dropped it on purpose.
Yeah, probably on purpose, so that they could get the information.
She was a fighter.
But what I'm saying is, I think they took him back to their house. He took him somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he did it there either. And plus, if somebody was yelling or screaming there, that shit echoes in those areas. Like if you're in the woods, and like somebody would have heard something, I think. And
they said one of the girls' bodies was still warm when they found them.
Yeah, I heard that too. Abby's body was still warm, I heard.
Yeah.
So on February 14th at 12:17 p.m., victims Liberty German and Abigail Williams were found dead with wounds caused by blank.
That's too long to be gun.
I think it, unless they named the particular gun, like in 9mm or something, or a rifle or whatever. But I think it's a serrated knife. That looks like an S to me on the end. Like it might be the start of an S, maybe. What else has like a little space there? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, that looks like the beginning of an S. That's definitely an S because look at here and then look at there. It's exactly how an S is. So it begins with an S. So it's something which I think is a serrated knife. On the property owned by Ronald Logan, a large amount of blood was lost by the victims at the crime scene. So do they say that's the crime scene? Because of the nature of the victim's wounds, it is nearly certain the perpetrator of the crime would have gotten blood on his person's clothing. Maybe that's the cloth they took out. The location of the crime scene is approximately 1,400 feet from Logan's residence. Wouldn't you think, though, if someone got blood all over their clothing, they would dispose of it? Well, I don't know. Probably not, because they were
not if you're a serial killer and you want souvenirs.
Yeah, well, they definitely kept some of her clothing.
What about the metal detector there? What were they looking for, I wonder?
The knife.
Oh.
The knife?
Maybe he buried the knife, yeah.
Logan is a 77-year-old male. His physical build is consistent with that of the male suspect videoed by LG on the Monon Highbridge Trail. Logan owns farmland and cares for large farm animals. Logan appears to be in good physical condition. Logan has interviewed several times. His voice is not inconsistent with the person in the video. It was also
Let me tell you something. They're not going to convict this guy unless they got DNA, because all the different suspects they've had and this stuff with Ron Logan, his lawyer's going to bring that up and give reasonable doubt. If they don't have no DNA, they're screwed.
They got to have something good.
Yeah.
If they found the murder weapon, would the girl's DNA be on it then?
They might.
It might be on it, but I don't know if they can actually get a
good sample.
It's so old, you don't know if you can test it and it'd be still good. You know what I mean? Inconclusive, maybe.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
They might be able to. I would have to look that up, like after so many years and buried, and if he wiped
because I've seen some cases where they said they tried to test the DNA. It was so old they couldn't get nothing from it.
Yeah. I mean, that isn't that old though. But if they found like clothes with blood on it, they could get DNA from that.
Well, now wait a second.
Their DNA, but the DNA they have is usually they already got it. They didn't have DNA test at the time. But this stuff, if he's buried it in the ground or something, it'd probably be gone.
L, G, and AW had no visible signs of a struggle or fight. Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's weird to me because I heard Libby fought like hell. So it says,
unless it just
It was also discovered that 2 pieces of clothing, one of the victims, was missing from the crime scene while the rest of their clothing was discovered. I'm pretty sure.
Were they naked?
I don't know. It doesn't say they were naked. They were just saying the rest of their clothing was recovered. But I heard that he took one of their underwear, or I think Libby's underwear, and her sock.
Yes, allegedly. That's what I mean. That's what I believe is.
Well,
I believe that's what's blotted out there.
Look at this. Look right here. It's hard because you guys can't see it as big as I can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. But that's a K at the end, right here. That's a K.
Okay.
And it says it was also discovered that something that ends with like a D or an L and sock. So,
wow.
Maybe shirt and sock, because that
Why
looks
the
like
sock?
it ends with a T. Shirt. The shirt and sock of one. I think that says shirt and sock. Because underwear would be too big. You.
Sarah says it was a t-shirt. Underwear.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Maybe t-shirt.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, I believe that was. So do I, because she was the one that seemed to be. Nace said that's why they
tell by the way the letters are.
Yeah, look, because she took it hard.
See the little thing sticking up right here? It would be SHIRT, shirt, and space and then end, sock with a K at the end. I think it's like a. Well, I don't know, because if it was shirt, there would be. You might be able to see the H. Let me see how high H goes. No, maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, wait till the affidavit comes out. There's going to be so much redaction on it. It's going to be bad.
I'm trying to. Is there a piece of clothing that would end in L or H?
Extra large t-shirt?
That doesn't look like a T. It looks like either an L. Like that looks like an L. Or.
Come on, Nace. Use your brain. Use your years and years of.
An L or a D. That's an L or a D right
so
there.
We've got a t-shirt and an L or a D.
I don't think it's a t-shirt. I think it's something in sock. But it's something that ends in like an L or D, or has L towards the end of the word, or D toward maybe underwear that. Maybe it could be under. No.
Keep up your 15 days, Ellie.
It's not underwear either.
It's common for perpetrators. See, even this person writing this says it's common for this type of perpetrators of this. Yeah. Take a souvenir.
Take a souvenir.
But that's usually someone who's already done this before. Like, this was pretty well done for.
If it's true that they just accidentally found him, and if he would have left town a long time ago, that means he would have never got caught.
Probably. The hair, that is hair. Just like they located unknown fibers.
What about a hoodie? Like, would they use the word?
Oh my gosh, this is why I think she's right.
It's not undergarments because it doesn't fit.
What do you mean?
Too long. Undergarments.
Oh, Nace just said undergarments.
It wouldn't fit. It's too long. Maybe like hoodie. Would they use the word hoodie?
I don't know.
That just feels like it's not like an appropriate word they would use.
Does anybody know what the girls had on that day?
I was trying to look. I don't know. I'm thinking, I think undergarments might be. I just want to see through it. That's all I want to do.
Underwear wouldn't fit because look, it's something and sock. So So look, sock goes from here to here, and then ends from there. A-N-D. So there's no way undergarment is fitting in that spot.
True. Bra and sock.
It's got to be like from like here to there. It's got to be like t-shirt. But I don't even think it's t-shirt because the T is short. Look how short the T is. I think that's an L.
Because remember, it's cold that time of the year.
If they put hoodie in a warrant thing, I'm quitting true crime forever.
No. But like, look.
What about hooded t-shirt or hooded?
D would be high enough. H maybe.
Yes,
K?
that's what I was going to do, Nace.
What about K? Does something end with K besides sock? Because K would fit there. Either K, F, L, KFL, or D.
Okay, here we.
They would have been. They would have been. You got me over here thinking, and I can't. It's got to be something warm because in February here in Indiana, sometimes it's like -10 degrees outside.
All right, KLFDH. That's all that will fit. T's too short. T is too short.
Hold on one second. I'm posting what Libby had on that day, so.
All right.
I'm just removing you for 1 second. Or Abby, excuse me. So.
Shoes.
I don't know. I don't have a picture of Libby that day. Is there one of her?
Jacket. Jacket would fit perfect. I think. J-A jacket. Yeah. J-A-C-K-E-T. Jacket and sock. Probably one of the girls' jackets and one of it's jacket. It's gotta be.
Nate said you keep adding more letters.
Well, no, because look, this little piece right here.
Oh, hold on. Let me take.
Picking up. That's probably a K. It's either a K, an L, an H, or a D.
I'll send you the screenshot. So
K-L-H.
What? But do we have any pictures of Libby from that day?
We're going with jacket. It's a jacket.
Pamela said shoe. I have reason to believe there might be a shoe because I don't know. Yes.
Perfect. Look here. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it better. All right.
Oh my God. I can't wait till it eventually comes out. So we can
see the tops of the letters right there. So that's a K because see how the two ends point out and then there. That's end. So that's a D. So end sock. So jacket fits perfect. J-A-C-K, which would be that tall. E-T. And sock. I mean, that's the only thing.
Do y'all know who first reported him arrested?
The family, right?
Yeah, I think the family tweeted it. Okay.
Oh, Libby had a tie-dye shirt on.
There's no way that's underwear. Underwear wouldn't fit there. So I'm telling you.
Oh, Lindsay. Okay, so Lindsay it's underwear and sock.
It's not underwear though, because underwear don't fit there. It won't. It wouldn't.
Just she said.
She's wrong. It's jacket. I'm telling you. It's jacket.
I mean, okay, maybe but Libby had a tie-dye shirt on, a t-shirt that day apparently. Wow. I didn't know that. How have I didn't miss that?
Shit. I just got out of it.
Because it was kind of warm that day, I believe.
Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. But look, I'm telling you, underwear wouldn't fit there. If you zoom in and you look at the letters, it won't fit.
Yeah, they did say it was unbelievably warm that day for that time of the year. Because it's usually like really cold here. Like really cold.
Could be a scarf. Did anyone have a scarf on? Could be scarf. That could fit too.
Hey Mel, the family released the name of the. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't necessarily know that they were going to announce it that day. The family, I think, was like, yeah.
Hey Mel, yeah, a scarf would fit too. If someone had a scarf on, a scarf would totally fit.
Oh, so that's because she had a tie-dyed shirt on. So that's why everyone made a big deal, I guess, about the picture of Rick Allen's daughter having the tie-dyed shirt on that they thought maybe was, rumor completely. They thought perhaps the tie-dyed shirt was like Abby's or Libby's memorial or something, like a shirt, which would be absolutely sick if he gave his daughter one of those.
Yeah, that's bad. And they said his family went into hiding.
Did they? I feel so bad for his daughter. Oh my gosh, can you imagine finding out your father's like?
Here's where it says they
found at least a child killer.
Yes.
This is where they found unknown fibers and unidentified hairs. They said that.
It wouldn't be surprised me if it comes out that he messed with his daughter too.
Probably.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. Logan owns numerous weapons, including handguns and knives that were observed by LEOs during the search warrant. But yeah, they definitely it definitely says hair, so the animal thing might be true. The animal hairs or whatever.
Yeah, Nace just said that she saw on Kathy's Facebook, which is his wife, on Friday before everybody, attacked her and she took it down, that they had a cat that died just recently.
Yeah. So they're saying that Logan lied about his whereabouts, that he told his cousin to say that he was at an aquarium store, but then they...
Yeah, he did that because he was on probation and he wasn't supposed to be driving, so he had to tell him somebody else took him there.
Gotcha.
He was kind of covering his... Yeah. It did make it look bad at first.
At the aquarium store? Do they have an out? Like, do they have... Hold on.
Nace, I know.
Lafayette.
Do you think they do have a receipt?
They have a receipt with a checkout time of 5:21.
Yeah, his cousin had that. His cousin gave him that.
Oh, on March 6th, though. That's not even a date.
No, it was found in his home on the 6th.
Oh, okay.
It was from the 13th.
Okay, so then maybe it wasn't him. I mean, he would still have enough time where he could have killed them and then went there, but...
I personally think he was on probation and was just absolutely panicked because it was on his land.
Yeah, I do too.
And
yeah,
he was like, yeah, I think...
But I just don't... The only thing that gets me with him is the jacket and the hat.
He said he was picked up
That's
around
identical.
3 p.m. and taken straight to the aquarium store in Lafayette. Said after he was done at the aquarium store, he was driven straight home. These statements were found to be factually false and intentionally designed to deceive LEOs. Which statement?
Because he went to prison after that.
Well, like which statement are they talking about? That he was picked up at 3 p.m., went to the store, and then was dropped right off? Like they said, it was designed to... It's factually false and intentionally designed to deceive law enforcement officers.
I got something.
Because he's the one that really drove.
Okay.
I got
with nobody with
he
him.
Confirmed that Logan never asked him to lie for him in the past. He knows that Logan has driven his vehicle while on probation. Okay.
I got to pull this up. Keep talking. This might help with envisioning where they were.
So they believe that he created this alibi to indicate that he wasn't there.
Okay.
A lot of people said so. They got a tip from someone saying the photograph of the mail that was released looked like Logan. LEOs learned that Logan had driven to the transfer station in Delphi to drop off trash on that day. Video from the transfer station shows Logan.
That's why we're saying we don't really think it is him, though, because we think he just panicked.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the jacket and the hat? It looked like him in the picture.
I think he was pretty in shape for his age. They said he lifted heavy stuff and took care of big barn animals. Like he wasn't, he wasn't like a fragile old man.
Okay,
so the transfer station put him. So he dropped off trash between 11:53 and 11:58.
Oh, that's so creepy.
It looks just like him.
But no, this is what.
Said he was physically abusive, and that when she left, he continued to stalk and harass her after their breakup. During their relationship, Logan had dragged her out of her car by her hair. She still fears Logan and has no contact with Logan in 2 years. She told investigators that Logan had told her in the past that he could kill her and no one would find her body. And that he would carry a gun in a fanny pack.
And they did say it looked like he had a fanny pack on on the bridge.
Yeah.
So this right here, is my screen showing? This top one is the hill that they walked down. This is the down the hill right here.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Crazy.
That's
and then yeah, and then this
that's creepy. I was just there.
Really? Yeah. Well, yeah. When you approach the bridge, the trail takes a turn. That curve feels evil. So they were approaching it. I get it now. Oh my gosh, that's where he told him to go. They must have known in that moment they were.
So they did say he was physically able to get up and down the hill from his home to the crime scene.
And whoever was in the pit on the bridge knew was familiar with the area because he knew how to walk on it the way he was walking, not to step in it. There's a lot of cracks and stuff. There's a lot of like rotten board. You got to watch what you're doing or you'll fall through that mug.
I can't believe they've never closed that down.
They're finna redo it from what I was told.
A lot of people. Do you see this? There's like 4 different people who gave a tip about him and thought that he was involved. This person said she feared him too. She had a sexual relationship with him, and that she even previously told her baby's father if she ever ended up dead, Logan didn't. She said on March 14, 2017, explained in her interview that Logan had been violent with her in the past. This is a second woman saying this. And explained that on July 4th, 2016, while at Logan's home, Logan punched her in the face, knocking her down. Said that he was drinking and that he wasn't drinking and he was completely sober during this incident. She also explained that Logan was angry because she disrespected Logan while in Logan's home.
And what does him and Alan have in common? They're both, I wonder if they're drinking buddies.
I know. I'd love to find a connection between them.
Yes, me too. That would be great.
All right,
that would make sense.
This. So this is 2000. This is somebody videoed this walk before the girls were murdered, and it's showing you like how he had to have known this bridge really well because hold on.
The way he was walking.
Well, yeah, but they show you how. What is with the music? We're gonna pause the music. But there's a spot they say that they show you it was really mushy where he was walking, so he had to know where to like go around and stuff. Because this is the trail.
They could have totally pushed him off that bridge if he tried to do anything on the bridge.
I had like I don't know, it was a weird feeling when I was out there tonight. It was just eerie.
So this is where this is where they were then. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is that spot.
And so right before they got there, he told them to go down the hill?
He was coming back and they were at the end. Like he was on.
This ain't the right side. This ain't the side I was on. It don't look like.
I'll laugh so hard if you were on the. No, I wouldn't laugh. But this is my. I think this isn't, and this isn't regards to them.
They paved it though. I don't know.
And that thing looks. That thing is more narrow than it looks in the video. That thing it's narrow.
Dude, I got to be honest. I would never let my children up there. I wouldn't let myself up there.
I would have to crawl on it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me. Like, but I just think
one time when I look down, it's over with.
Yeah, it's just so good. So there's the one spot. So. Oh gosh, I get it.
I wish I could show I could show the pictures on here, the ones I took today.
You can send them to me. I can pull them up if you email them to me.
That's so crazy. Exactly, Sandy. There's not a chance. I would always thought he had it. So did I, Penny. Hold on. See, I think he said down the hill because that bridge looks nice. See, this is why I keep you around. I'm just kidding. That is actually not a bad theory. Because I mean, he had to get him down there at some point, yeah. Because it was how much could he control them?
Yeah, you can't control them up there. he would have to isolate them. I think, honestly, I can't even imagine. I mean, the only thing I can think of, like, controlling them there would him having to, like, he would have to, one would stay with the other instead of running. Because, I mean, how could one guy control two girls? And I mean, if I were one of the girls, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Libby would have left her friend or vice versa. But shit, if one can get away and go get help, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So allegedly, Tom Webster said, he was saying this too, allegedly. Some people say you can hear a click of a gun. He said he didn't hear. I've never heard a click of a gun, but I do probably suspect he did have, I guess they're torturing the son-in-law on Facebook. That's so sad, y'all. Like, not anybody here, but I just was reading this Reddit.
I just found his Facebook, like, as we were sitting here talking.
I mean, do you imagine, like, they didn't just find out that she just found out her father the same year that they were preparing for his daughter's wedding. Killed two girls.
There's no reason to like,
Oh, it's so, people are so just awful sometimes. Goodness. Yeah, Country Boy has to share those photos from today. Yeah, so do I, Penny. I always just wonder, and it sounds horrible, when did they, because I bet they recognized him. I mean, it was said, what was it, Libby's aunt that said she went in there 3 to 4 times a week. Like, he lived right a hop, skip, and a jump from Abby. I mean, I just think, oh my gosh, when they at first probably recognized him, and then just at what point did they realize, like, we're in trouble? I don't know. Those thoughts are weird. I just get them in my head sometimes. I think I heard they were shot. Not sure where. Yeah, I don't know, Penny. If that's the case, like, I don't know, there was so much more violent stuff.
Yeah, I heard that there was a serrated hunting knife used, and that Libby got the worst of it, and that her, trigger warning, that her neck was sliced so bad that she was almost, like, decapitated.
That's right. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. That's just why I just don't think that the family is getting harassed so bad. People are harassing them, accusing them of being daft for not knowing. It's so sad. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. If he has a history of domestic violence, we know how women of abusers can be, and do you want to believe that your husband is possibly a murderer? Like, your brain can't comprehend that while you're planning your daughter's wedding, and it's just a weird, I don't think any of us can say. Do I think maybe she might have had some questions? Probably, but I really don't think the daughter did, because I think by that time, she was gone. What happened to Country Boy? Yeah, Libby's attack. I still think the one that was originally
emailing. He probably went to go email them while he was on the thing and kicked himself off by accident.
I think we'll save those for your channel, because we're trying to. Kate is really close to her watch hour goal, guys. So, I think that Libby was the one that was supposed to be there, and Abby was the one that got in the way, I guess.
I can't believe the court documents are sealed. That pisses me off.
So, one interesting thing that her sister said, I think I said it to Kate, which I thought was, somebody help me. Nace, can you do me a favor? Because I can't message Melissa right now, but you tell her she better keep up her great coverage of Quentin's case, because she's doing great coverage. Anyways, I'll tell you after, Kate. So this is why my ADD. Where was I going with it? Never mind. Gosh. See, when all my meds have wore off, my ADD medicine's worn off. So Kate and I are working really hard to uncover more of Evansdale murders because those little girls need justice really bad. And there are so many similarities that they weren't, before they said there is definitely some similarities, but that they just can't make a connection. But that was so everybody's saying they're not connected now. Well, that's because they didn't have a suspect before, like they do now.
Mm-hmm.
Happy face kid, yeah. I am actually just quite shocked that this case is not being talked about more right now.
I am too. Like I think because there's so much going on with all the true crime YouTube creators with this stupid, protesting and stuff like that. It's kind of like overshadowed.
It's not even a protest anymore. It's like a
circus.
They're like playing music back and forth with each other, guys. People are sending Billy Joe speakers and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like listening the other night, and everyone's like saying they need to go down there and they need to document stuff. You got to document with these guys. I mean, it's all being documented. Nobody else needs to go down there. Nobody. Like, everybody needs to go home. Nobody else needs to go down there. Other people going down on the other side is not going to help anything.
Oh my God, no. It's like a freaking game of like capture the flag or something.
Oh, he said send him the StreamYard.
Okay. So Penny, yes, it is in Iowa. However, at that time he worked in a section of Illinois that was only about 3 hours from that location.
Oh, they repaved it. That's why it looks different, I think. I show them on here.
Oh, you got him? I was like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, because look at the difference. It was like it was all like messed up right here. They repaved it. That's what it looks like to me. How pretty is it? That it looks like the same side. Like I think it's the same size. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was on the other side.
Are you? Hold on. Let me go.
Because look, that wasn't that. There's a bunch of these. I guess these little things right here.
Well, you might actually be right, because no, you're I'm so confused. It all looks the same.
This looks new though, like they repaved it.
Yeah, they must have repaved it, and that's why I
can't tell if it's the same side we were looking at or not.
Yeah, Penny, it's pretty wild when you end up seeing like everything that places him now so close to.
It's Evansville, I think it is, right?
Evansdale.
Oh, okay.
But yes, Penny. There's some things that are like, holy cow. He could have.
If you want to look up, I have so many things.
Oh, Country Boy's here. Sorry, I left him in the back.
There we go.
Am I on?
That is.
Do you think this is the same side that Parker was just showing, but they just repaved it? Maybe.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's today. I mean, that's before you go over the bridge. That's where I stopped at right there.
Before. So it's the other side. It's the other side.
Well, no, because look, they were on the side of. Hold on. Let me go back to Google Earth. Hold on. I'll tell you right now what side it's on, because I'll tell you what side what's his name is on. If what's his name stuff is on the side of the parking lot, then it's the side of the parking lot.
I thought I couldn't see nothing on the other end. I think that's where they went down. They had to go. Well, you can't go down the hill. There's nowhere to go down the hill right there, because I looked. I would have went down that way. 'Cause you want to go down the hill, you're going to jump off and fall in the water.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of you, like, because you're already terrified of the bridge.
They were on the side of the entrance, because look, this is the entrance, and this is
that's the side of the entrance. Yeah.
So they repaved it then.
Penny,
They repaved it. It's on that side. They're on the entrance side. That's where they're.
So that's the side y'all are talking about, right?
Yeah. They're on the side of the entrance. Why does that look?
Yeah,
like
wasn't their bodies on the side of the entrance?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the side of the entrance. Because look, their bodies were found over here. Look, there's the cemetery. This is where Ron Logan's property is, right in here. And this is the entrance. So they were on the side. They must have walked across and then walked back, and he followed them, and then he brought them down here. Because I was going to say, if it were the other side, the bridge goes all the way here. It's not even by the water, so it wouldn't make sense if they were on this side. You know what I mean? Because the bridge goes to the woods. Look how far the bridge goes. It goes almost all the way to like there. So it was definitely the entrance side.
So that is the side they was killed on, the one I was on?
Yeah. Oh, here, let me look.
But there's no way to go down the hill right there, though. There's no way. Unless you're backed up.
I think they repaved it all. Like, I think they changed it all. Like, I added all these rocks and repaved it all.
Like, because you look to your right when you get to the bridge and you look to your right or left, you can jump off. You'll jump off.
Yeah. Like, I think this is a lot different. Do you still have those pictures up, Parker? After I go through these, put those back up because I'm pretty sure they just repainted.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Penny's just saying because like that they were around the same age the girls were because it was 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
So the two girls were around the age.
Here. Like it looks.
You see right there.
I think
you would have to jump off.
They built it up high with rocks and made it like a wall. But before it was dirt right there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what do they think that's going to protect from the massive drop off of 35 feet?
Yeah, because look, you can see over here, like.
Yeah, because I would have walked down it if it would have been some kind of like trail going down. I would have walked down it.
Yeah. See, they built. See this wall? I think they built up from this wall.
Yes, Nace. There you go.
They're supposed to redo that bridge too, so.
That is so wild. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think of that, Penny. That's a good catch. That they were the same age.
This is how you can see it's the same wall. Because look, see, if you looked at my, we can't have them up at the same time. But yeah, see that wall right there. Now go back to the other one.
Oh crap! I just removed country. It's too much clicking. Okay, hold on.
See that wall? That little wall was there. That's the same wall. They just build up onto that wall. That's why there's like a big drop off. Before it was like a hill, you could walk down a little bit.
Well, hold on though.
They paved it.
Okay, so this is the approaching. All right, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's the same side. They just paved it. They repaved it.
Wow.
I'm gonna go again. Sometime this week.
Cemetery and walk.
I didn't see the cemetery. Is that where they're buried at, right?
That's where their bodies were. I'll show you where the cemetery is.
Oh, is their bodies over the bridge?
All right, no. The bodies were on the same side. So look, if you're at the entrance, here's the entrance, right? There's a road over by the entrance. I'm not sure how you get to it. Let me see. Okay, it goes under the highway.
On your right or left?
All right. So see this little thing that goes over here that takes you across this bridge? If you can somehow figure out how to get to this road underneath, this road crosses over, right?
And
I'm an idiot. Why didn't I just ask? Yeah, never mind. Keep going.
And follows over here, this thing, which takes you to the cemetery, which is right here. Then there's that private driveway that takes you right into Ron Logan's property, which is their bodies were found right in this area.
And that's before the entrance of the bridge.
Yeah. So, like, somehow you would have to get this road that goes underneath this walkway. I don't know how you.
Pamela, I told Pamela, Pamela, this case that she's pretty close to the family. So I told you to know your limits. So I do not be sorry. Look.
Well, I'm going to go back up there sometime this week.
I'm gonna find you the name of the road real quick. How do I put
I had a member by the name of Rick Allen.
How do I put a thing down?
So, Nace, people said they were worried he was in one of the groups. Oh, I didn't even know someone was in private chat. Oh, Country Boy. Hey, Country Boy, you're doing amazing for being your first StreamYard time.
All right, I'm just.
What is it now?
Type in this address: 5858 West 300 North. That's Ron Logan's address, which will take you right in here.
I think you're right, Sandy.
Where were the girls? Does anybody know where the girls were buried at? Like after they,
where they're like what cemetery?
Yeah.
Or where their bodies were found?
No, where their cemetery, where they're buried at, like now.
Oh, I don't know where they're buried at. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is where Ron Logan's property is, and this is where their bodies were found, right in here. Their bodies.
So that is on the entrance side.
Yeah, their bodies were found right in here, literally, like this area right here. Because,
okay, I think I know where it's at. It might
look. That's Ron Logan's property right here, and they were down by the water.
When you go to you walk down the trail, when you see the sign that says 502 feet or whatever, and it's got Libby and Abby's pictures and all kinds of stuff on there. There's a little trail right there to the right. I wonder if that's it down that way.
Yeah, it's on the same side, and it's over here. See where where it turns and goes like that? That their bodies were found right by the river here, and this is Ron Logan's property right here. This road takes you into Ron Logan's property. So the only way this guy could have really gotten here, either he walked them all the way down here, like made them walk all the way down here, or he took them out over here and parked over here and made them get in his car and came back and put their bodies in there. But he would have had to came on to Ron Logan's property. Like he would have had to use this back driveway. I don't know how else he would have gotten in there unless he did it right there or use Ron Logan's driveway.
Well, maybe I'll go down there Thursday and I'll do a video this time.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But if you could just not fall off the bridge, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
Well, if you don't hear from me next time, you know what happened.
We need our Delphi correspondent. Oops, sorry.
You'll see you tune into the Delphi News. Dumbass falls off bridge.
Oh my gosh, I can totally see that. Oh my gosh! But all right, y'all, I gotta hop off of here, and but I think. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, I know this is where all the police were pulling in at the cemetery to get to their bodies.
Oh, really?
I think they had crossed the bridge and they were coming back because that guy was following them on the bridge, and that's when they took the video. But
that's right.
My question is, did he take them over the bridge?
No, because their bodies were found on Ron Logan's property, which is over here.
Yeah, that's what Sandy was saying. They weren't at the bridge.
All the police cars, remember the helicopter footage? They all pulled into his driveway here. And they were all.
But when he's walking on that bridge, like when you see him in the video, he's walking like he's not from the entranceway, but towards the entranceway.
Yeah, he's over here and walking towards it. I think they crossed the bridge and then came back, and he started following them. Like I think he followed them over there and then followed them back. But he probably waited till they got over here because he couldn't really have an opportunity on the bridge, And
I just read all your emails too. I didn't know we was talking about. You had the same thing I did on there.
Yeah.
Pointer lover, I know, and actually there's another creator that just said they're going down there. God bless Savannah, Georgia right now.
Oh no, who?
Gosh.
If it's that young dude that I was on with, not on with, but I was on his thing today. Was it that young guy?
Allegedly it's the creator that I used to be a part of her community.
Oh, it was a guy. This was a guy I was talking. It's supposed to be going down there tomorrow.
A girl?
Oh my God. Natasha's going down there tomorrow.
No way.
Or not tomorrow or something. Allegedly.
You gotta be kidding me.
And now there's a guy going down there.
PHB, Natasha, Cher, Ben,
and now whoever Country Boy.
Laura. No.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I can be there in 30 minutes or so.
Country boy, who's
Delphi, or are you talking
no
about
Georgia? Who?
Dude.
Oh my gosh,
that's about a 9-10 hour drive too.
And you heard a guy saying today that he was going down there, country boy, as well?
Tomorrow, yeah. I can't remember what channel was
Oh
on.
my gosh. Sandy, I could not have said it better. Stay out of Georgia.
Yeah, I don't need no more damn people there, for real.
All right, y'all. Well, hopefully Kate's going live. Oh, thanks, Nace. Thanks for coming.
I'm gonna load one up probably for like an hour, just
Oh,
just
cool. Yeah. Let's all help her.
Are you going live, Kate?
Yeah, I'm gonna go live in a minute. I already have a thumbnail.
Good. I told her to go live because she's got 300 watch hours to go, y'all. And if you're
more watch hours,
look,
what does that mean?
Let me tell you, I did not realize until I was a creator how much it takes. You have to get to 4,000 watch hours, and shorts don't count. And it's very like people have to watch you for 4,000 hours.
To do what? What does that make you do?
To get monetized for the 5 or 6 cents you make.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, you said here in just a minute you're gonna go live.
Yeah, I'm setting it up right now as I'm.
Oh, okay, so I'll come on there with you if you want me to.
Yeah.
Kate, look at that. She's raising 5G to go, but we'll talk about that.
What, $5,000 to go? Wait, Natasha?
Yeah.
I might have to start my channel. I don't know. I've had YouTube for like 10 years.
You should start a channel. I'll help you.
You would offer great perspective being from there.
I'll teach you how to do it so that you know what you're doing. Like I'll teach you how to use it.
Yeah, because I've tried to upload stuff and I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, you would do a great job considering you're so close. You know what I mean? You would.
I would listen to you just for your accent.
Oh yeah, I live in Indiana, but I'm not from Indiana.
I know.
Let me just tell y'all.
I'm from Texas.
I'm from Philly, but when I always thought that like
thanks, Penny.
Southern people just talk so like sweet and innocent until I joined YouTube.
Oh Lord.
And,
yeah,
like,
but
I've never heard so many foul-mouthed Southern women.
Women though, because he would probably about have a heart attack if he heard the way some of the women talk that are on.
I mean,
have y'all? Is there any?
I'm like,
is there any creators y'all really like?
Like Melissa Jade, I watch a lot. Yeah. She's got good coverage of Quentin's case. Kate,
whatever you do not listen to JLR. I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh no!
You know how many times he sued people?
It ain't just that. He is like 18 cans short of a 12-pack.
Hey Yvette. Hey Punka. I know. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, here you go. Ellie said it. Jen Lou too. Yeah.
What about Betty something?
No. I mean,
I don't like her either.
I'm mod for Queen Bee. I love Queen Bee. And,
yes.
Who?
Queen Bee.
I don't know who that is.
She'll tell you where to go, man. You either just like.
What about that? What about that one woman? There's another Go Lightly.
You're naming all the crazy ones.
All the ones that are in Georgia right now.
I get on there and I'll argue with them because they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
I've got to see that. I know.
And I got into it with JLR. I told him, I said, you ain't got no. He said he's got sources. Yeah, at the mental health place. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right, y'all. Well, I'll see you in a minute over at Kate's if you can. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
I'll jump on there with you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.